guys, I'm Kimberly from Kimberly Loves Books, and I wanted to do my 2018 reading goals wrap up. I didn't set myself too many reading goals for 2018 because I was going through a rough time and I didn't want to put too much stress on myself. So one of the reading goals I set myself was 240 books, which worked out 40 books per month starting in July. And I've probably read more books in the beginning of the year, but I didn't really log them. It's only been this year that I've started to log my reading. So as it stands on Goodreads, I've actually surpassed my 240 books. I've read 658 books this year, and I've still got, I think it's another 30 that have got to be added, which works out 698 books, and I'm currently in the middle of 9 books, which means I'm probably going to have read about 690 to 700 books this month, and I don't know whether that's an SS for me because I didn't normally check my reading. One of the other goals I set myself was to reread 40 of my childhood classics, childhood favourites, which I did. So Heidi, A Little Princess, Little Lord Fauntleroy, The Railway Children, The Secret Garden, Harry Potter. Well, actually that was on a separate thing. I wanted to reread all of the Harry Potter series, which I completed. Then I set myself a challenge of reading 40 classics. I actually surpassed that as well. I know I read more than 40 classics this year. So I actually finished my 2018 reading goals. So I wanted to discuss with you my 2019 reading goals. So in 2019 I'm going to put less stress on myself. So I've set myself a goal of 300 books, which works out at 25 books per month, which is great because if I don't hit the 25 books per month, there are going to be months where I do hit it and go over, and then I want to finish 10 series. At the moment I'm trying to, like, if I read a book and I enjoy that book, I'm trying to get the next one and read that, rather than going, yeah, I love that, and then a couple of years later picking up the series. I'm trying to finish series. And then I want to set myself 10 reading challenges. So I'm taking part in the Modern Miss Darcy reading challenge, the Pop Sugar reading challenge, around the world reading challenge, and then the last one is the Book Riot challenge. So that's it's about 5 reading challenges there, and then 5 more throughout the year. I want to read more non-fiction. I would like to read 20 classics. I would like to use my library more. I read from my library about 130 to 135 books this year. I'd like to actually surpass that next year. I'd like to get my physical TBR down to 0, and at the moment it's 128. And how I keep track of my physical TBR is I've got this, and it just says own TBR and then 128, and then once I read some of them I'll change that. It's just a reminder to me how many books that I own that I still have not read. And then I want to put, so for my physical TBR to get down to 0, I'm not going to be bringing more books into the house besides the library books and that. So I'm going to put myself on a book buying ban for 4 months. and it'll also give me a chance, like an opportunity to read a book, and then rather than going, yeah, I really like that, and going out and getting it, it gives me that couple months to think about whether I really do want to get that book or not. So I set up myself a TBR jar, which means if I want to get my TBR down to 0, it's going to be 10 books, 10 picks from here each month, and then there's going to be months where I've still got 8 books to pick from, but then there are series in here and stuff, and then I'd like to reread 20 books, and I don't mean 20 books that I read in 2018. I want to read 20 books from past years, and rather than getting caught up in the hype of new books, I'd like to read more backlist books. So as that stands, that's 12 reading goals I've set myself for 2019, and I'm hoping I really do that. So, but besides the reading goals, I'm also setting myself other goals for next year. So one of my goals is to hopefully get my condition under some kind of control. This year's been really difficult, and Christmas has been really difficult because my MSK pain, which stands for musculoskeletal pain, has actually spread. It's gone back into my sides, which means if I walk for too long, if I sit for too long, if I lay for too long, the pain's really bad to the point where I'm short of breath. I haven't really done much this Christmas. I've played a few games with the people I'm staying with, but not much because I'm just in too much pain and been a bit of a Debbie Downer this year. So I'm hoping to kind of get that under control for next year. I'd like to lose weight. I lost 1 stone and 7 pounds this year. That could be because, but I didn't lose it the right way. It was because there was so many times that I didn't eat. So I'd like to lose weight the right way for next year. I'd like to get back into walking, getting a bit more active. Then I'm thinking about getting my own place. Like I said, I mean, I'm 32. I have always lived with friends, I've always lived with family, and I kind of would like my own space. So hopefully next year would be, 2019 would be the year that I get my own place, and I'm still under my hospital, so I don't see them until February, but it looks like I'm going to be going back to the doctor in January with this pain. She said to keep an eye on it, but I'm hoping that it's just like the stress, so hopefully the pain will lessen. And then I'd like to talk about going back to either college or work, because I'm finding, yeah, I can read, and I love reading, but I'd like to socialise with people too. So that's the goal for next year, is hopefully get back to work. So they're just my goals for next year. So I'm Kimberly from Kimberly Loves Books, and I hope to talk to you soon.